kayang labanan ang agos ng paghamon. Mabuwal at matapaman, sabay tayong aahon. Posible kayang mabura alinlangan sa sarili. Ang tapang sa loob makikita, taglay mo ang dugong bayani. Sulong laban, wag uurong. Pakinggan sa iyong puso ang sigaw na dati bulong. Sulong laban, wag uurong. Pakinggan sa iyong puso ang sigaw na dati bulong. Posible. Posible kayang matikman tamis ng gintong minimithi. Sa kagat ng bawat laban, magtatagumpay kang muli. Sulong laban, wag uurong. Pakinggan sa iyong puso ang sigaw na dati bulong. Posible. Sulong laban, wag uurong. Pakinggan sa iyong puso ang sigaw na dati bulong. Posible. Pakinggan sa iyong puso ang sigaw na dati bulong. Posible. Sulong laban, Pilipino. Pakinggan sa iyong puso ang sigaw na dati bulong. Posible. Posible. Posible.
Hi guys, it's your girl Mimi.
Di kita iiwanan, pangakong di pababayaan. Ako'y nandyan lamang, nababalot. Di kita iiwanan, pangakong di pababayaan. Ako'y nandyan lamang, nababalot. Di kita iiwanan, pangakong di pababayaan. Ako'y nandyan lamang, nababalot.
Lord of wisdom, source of intelligence, we welcome you to this auspicious gathering, an august moment for the pursuit of knowledge that is offered for the glory of your name. We do not wish to ask you more than just you joining us today, but we look forward to your heavenly grace to amplify the desire for truth, to look up for and become prudent to learning. Keep us grounded in your love and mercy as we traverse a challenging path to keeping the inclination of understanding you and your most awe-inspiring creation. Be with us, O Lord, and descend your Spirit on us to maintain an earnest desire for knowledge, truth, and understanding you, the guide of the wise, the stronghold of the learned. This we ask through Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Okay, how's everyone? Hoping that everybody's doing great, doing good. Smile naman tayo dyan, ngiti naman tayo dyan sa ating mga kasama here via Zoom. And of course, hopefully via chat box, we can also get some response to our friends there via YouTube. Of course, it's another Saturday and we are really excited because This is an opportunity to learn as a community. And let's proceed. This is another great and exciting day to all. Once again, welcome to our professional learning community buddies here in the Philippines and around the globe. This is Coach J.R. Viterbo, founder and program director of 1PhysEd.Ph, together with Coach Josh Villarreal, our technical manager, bringing to you the 85th episode of the 2022 sports series with the theme Empowering School Sports for a Better Tomorrow. And of course, like what I mentioned, okay, I think someone's turned on their audio. When we request our participants here via Zoom to turn it off. Thank you. All right. Our Coach Josh, you may press the button for audio. All right. Let's proceed. And of course, this 2 weeks, the past 2 weeks, there's a lot of things that happened. And of course, we would like to say thank you to our 84th episode speaker. That's Dr. Aaron Bale from University of Kentucky. And of course, it is really, if you made to attend that session, you'll be able to realize that it's really vital, that we PE teachers provide meaningful and motivating programs by making the theories that we learned in the academy into reality during our class. That's why therefore it's a great reminder, and for those who made not to attend that session, it's available via 1PhysEd.Ph YouTube channel. And of course, tayong lahat alam natin that our Philippine national athletes recently participated in the 31st Southeast Asian Game. At ito po ay nangyari sa Vietnam. And of course, we would like to say thank you to all our athletes for bringing glory and medals for our country. I think marami naman po tayong mga medals na napanalunan dito sa Southeast Asian Games. And of course, lagi tayong proud and we are looking forward dahil itong episode na to, it's a great opportunity. Tayo mga PE teacher, future PE teacher, mga sports enthusiasts, we don't know, na baka itong ating mga hinahawakang mga athletes, they will be the next Olympians. And through listening to our episode for this afternoon, of course, baka naman yung mga athletes na hinahawakan natin will be the next student athletes, of course, of the National Academy of Sports. And another thing, I just want to promote that today will be the championship round of the Asia Oceania Floorball Cup. This is the first time that our Philippine national women's team for floorball will be competing in the championship round. Nasip po nila ang buong elimination round. Therefore, 5-0 po tayo dyan. And we are really excited for their game today. And mamaya po, ipopromote natin sa hulian ng ating episode para makapag-support po tayo this fast-growing sport in our country, floorball, which I'm also part of the National Association. Kaya supportahan po natin ang ating Philippine Women's Floorball Team. So napakaraming activities ang nangyayari, for the past 2 weeks. And of course, tayo po sa mga PE teachers, especially for those who are into the field of sports, we are really excited to see more progress in Philippine sports. Tayo po ay mga contributor then, of course, for elite sports. And with all honesty, it's been a pleasure to serve the Philippine physical education community by providing professional development training. Imagine we have already reached our 85th episode. Yes, you heard it right, 85th episode. Yes, this can only be possible with the continuous support of this community to get relevant and meaningful professional development training. Saturdays become more exciting for us because we know that this kind of program can make a difference as we continue facing the challenges and demands of our profession. Hindi nga tayo dapat laging kung ano lang yung alam natin. It's a continuous process talaga ang learning. Therefore, we call this as a professional learning community. Yes, you heard it right. Here in 1PhysEd.Ph, we call this as a professional learning community where we provide a stage for our experts, not only experts, even for teachers who have best practices that being conducted in their class, or let's say in the field of sports, dance, recreation, fitness, and wellness. We provide a stage for you to share those things. Again, it's really important. Sabi nga ni Dr. Salve Fabula from Philippine Normal University, when you have something to share, do it as soon as possible dahil baka syempre yan ang makapatulong sa mga kapwa nating mga PE teachers and mga coaches. Therefore, we are inviting you, no, of course, to be one of our guests who can conquer the stage of 1PhysEd.Ph to inspire our fellow teachers. That's why we are inviting you to reach us, no, here in 1PhysEd.Ph by Facebook Messenger, or you can directly send a message to me because napakadami po nating activity for the entire year. We have fitness and wellness, sports series, dance series, school and university series, research workshop, and of course, we have the conference. I believe meron specialization ang kada teacher, and hopefully that someday, no, or very soon, kayo po ay maitanghal namin dito in 1PhysEd.Ph. At this juncture, we welcome to all our participants for this afternoon. No? We are here in 1PhysEd.Ph Zoom. Paramdam naman po ang ating mga friends dito sa Zoom via chat box. And of course, we are streaming live, no, sa ating YouTube channel. Salamat po sa almost 40 plus people who was with us via YouTube. And kindly share, of course, to your social media the link via of YouTube live stream po natin so that more people, especially the PE teachers, parents as well, and of course mga athletes, lalo na yung pa high school pa lamang po, for them to know more about the programs of National Academy of Sports. Okay, therefore, let's recognize po ang ilan sa ating mga kaibigan who's with us for this afternoon. Marami na pong nagpakilala, no? Siyempre, ang ating mga suki po and our friends na laging nandito, Sir July, no, from Katubig, Northern Samar. We have Miss Lomi from Colegio de Iligan. We also have Mr. Aaron Abiog, all the way from Palawan State University. Meron din po tayo from PSU. Siya na nga po yun, si Sir Aaron. And of course, we have some students, no? Sir JJ Berina, si JJ Berina from Far Eastern University Institute of Physical Education. And lastly, meron din po tayo, of course, si Miss Geraldine Tauing, all the way from Tambuan National High School, Basao, take note, Mountain Province, no? Talagang nandito po sila. And of course, thank you rin dahil ang ating mga students from Lasal, Araneta, shout out sa inyong lahat. They are with us. Of course, they would like to learn something different. Therefore, they are with us this afternoon. Ilan po sa ating mga kaibigan? Sino po yung pinakauna? Siyempre, na nandito, ma-recognize natin si Miss Sir Jomir Zarte Lorente from Lorente National High School, no? From Eastern Samar. Magandang hapon po. And meron din tayong ilan from Zamboanga del Norte Division, Miss Emma Ocopan. And sorry po sa mga hindi natin nabate, but again, just put there kung saan po kayong organization because, no, as much as possible, we want everyone na makilala din po natin. Kasi natatandaan ko din po yung mga talagang lagi natin nakakasama here in 1PhysEd.Ph. And bago mo tayo pumunta sa highlights, medyo pinapatagal ko lang konti kasi I have a simple request. I just want you to share the YouTube link, no, ng ating live stream po ngayon sa inyong network. Ano po ba yung mga network? No? Sa mga teachers, of course, sa inyong mga fellow PE teachers. Of course, kung meron po tayong mga sports office, sa mga coaches po natin, right? And of course, sa ating mga future PE teachers, sa mga kapwa nyo, sa mga BPE students, no? Or mga sports science students, pwede rin natin i-share. Kasi one way or another, maybe not now, hindi natin siya kailangan itong topic na to, hindi tayo masyado involved dito. But I know that there's some point in your life, baka makatulong dahil may idea na kayo about this topic. Therefore, I just want to remind everyone, kindly share the link. And of course, hopefully, na dumami pa po ang ating mga kasama for this afternoon to benefit for this topic. Okay? All right. And also, okay, I just want to have a early promotion, all right? No? Bago po itanghal ang ating speaker for this afternoon. Mark the date. That's going to be June 11th. That's going to be the closing or the culminating of the sports series for 2022. And we're going to have attorney Alberto Agra, or sports law, who will be talking with us with a very special topic. Therefore, if you are the following, I already made the post via via Facebook page po ng 1PhysEd.Ph, and maraming nag-respond. If you are a parent of a student athlete, you are a coach, right? And you're a school sports administrator, or even, division sports administrator, or district sports administrator, or even in the DepEd. I just want to invite everyone to join that episode because this will be beneficial as we're gonna have, itong pag-compose po natin ng mga student-athlete contract. Ano po ba yung mga dapat lalamanin nito? And because we have Attorney Alberto Agra, he is very generous enough to share this topic to all of us para meron po tayong fundamental or basic template na pwedeng magamit ng kada school organization. So mark the date, June 11 po. I-mark na po natin ang petsa na yan. June 11, we're gonna have that episode. All right. I think our speaker is really excited for this afternoon. So do I. And let me introduce already our speaker. Sorry. Coach Neil Patrick S. Ferrer is a college professor, educator, school administrator, sports coach, and strength and conditioning coach. He currently serves as Deputy Division Head of Academic Affairs, Curriculum and Instruction Services Division of the National Academy of Sports. He is also an assistant professor, athletics director, and program head of sports science at Preston International College, and a board member and public relations officer of the Interscholastic Athletic Association. At the same time, he also teaches as a senior lecturer at the University of the Philippines, Diliman, and also serves as the head coach of the University of the Philippines Integrated School for the 1PhysEd table tennis team. Right? Hindi na tayo nag-abot coach na magkalaban. He's also an instructor at the University of Santo Tomas Institute of Physical Education and Athletics. In addition, he also assists in the training and strength conditioning program of the Philippine National Table Tennis Team through the Philippine Table Tennis Federation Incorporated. Last but not the least, he also served as a professional development advisor, of course, of 1PhysEd.Ph for sports science. Professor Ferrer graduated magna cum laude with great honor with a degree of Bachelor of Sports Science from the University of the Philippines, Diliman. Together with this, he garnered awards such as the Gawad Chancellor sa Natatanging Mag-aaral and the 10 Outstanding Students of the Philippines Award. He also took the degree Associate in Health Science Education and Doctor of Dental Medicine in the University of the East, Manila. On top of this, he also holds a Master's of Science in High Performance Sports, Strength and Conditioning degree from Universidad Católica San Antonio de Murcia in Murcia, Spain, and a Certified Conditioning Association, NSCA. He has extensive experience as head coach and strength and conditioning coach from multiple basic elementary, secondary, high school, tertiary, and collegiate amateur, professional, national, international teams and athletes, both locally and abroad. His expertise includes numerous and various sports science, fitness, and sports management, and physical education subjects and courses. So nakita nyo naman, no? Talagang napaka-busy ng ating speaker, but because he would like to share this topic to us, for us to be enlightened about Mass Academy more, no? In addition to what Ms. Joy Reyes already delivered a couple of weeks ago, let's all welcome our speaker for this afternoon, for the 85th episode of 1PhysEd.Ph, Professor Neil Ferrer. Magandang hapon, Coach Neil.
Magandang hapon, Coach JR. Good afternoon, everyone. Can I be heard well po?
Yes, we can hear you, Coach.
Thank you. So, thank you so much for the warm welcome and the introduction, Coach JR. And again, of course, thank you to Coach JR and to the rest of the 1PhysEd.Ph team for giving us this opportunity, the National Academy of Sports, to share our programs, and then especially, our nascent SAS program, or the NAS Annual Search for Competent, Exceptionable, Notable, and Talented Student-Athlete Scholars. Okay, so do I start already, Coach JR?
The stage is yours, Coach Neil.
Okay, thank you. And let me start by sharing my screen. Musta po kayong lahat, no? I hope, I know it's a rainy afternoon. At any point, no, Coach JR, Coach Josh, no, please let me know as well if I lose my connection or if you can't hear me well, so I can try to address it. But even though it's a rainy afternoon, I wish that all of you are safe, well, and healthy, no, amid the weather and also amid the pandemic. So, good afternoon again to all of our coaches, physical education teachers, MAPE teachers, school administrators, sports coaches, student athletes, no, and all of the attendees and participants for today's webinar. Coach JR, can my screen be seen already, my presentation?
Yes, we can see it clearly.
Thank you so much. So let's start, no? For today's discussion or presentation, I'll be using the English language in case we have those, no, from the international arena. But then at the same time, for some slides, no, or some points, I might also discuss in Filipino so that we can make it more relatable, no, to sa mga kapwa natin Pilipino, no, para mas maintindihan po natin lahat ang programa ng NAS, no. So the National Academy of Sports of the Philippines was established just last 2020. Okay, and the National Academy of Sports is a boarding school for Filipino student athletes. So as I've said, later on, no, we will talk about the nascent SAS for this incoming school year 2022 to 2023. Okay, and to start, no, I'll do a brief introduction and recap, no, of what the NAS system or the National Academy of Sports system is all about. No, last April 23, our executive director, Edie Joy Reyes, already did a presentation and a talk for this, no, with 1PhysEd.Ph. I hope you were all able to attend that. But in case you missed it, you may still watch the recording. Or again, no, we'll have a short recap, no, or review of what the NAS system is all about today. Okay, and for the sake of my presentation today, and to maximize the benefit of this presentation, I will utilize some of the most frequently asked questions or FAQs about NAS. No, and at the end of the session, if you have more questions, I will display later the contact information and the social media sites of NAS, and hopefully we can be able to answer and address all of your questions as well. Okay, so let's start. Okay, first, no, what is NAS, no, or what is NAS, or ano nga ba ang NAS? Okay, alam ba na lahat kung ano dito yung NAS? I hope not. This is not the NAS Daily that is also very popular, no, and even trended for the wrong reasons in the past months. But the NAS, no, instead stands for National Academy of Sports. Okay, and we'll learn about it more in the next slides. Okay, so the National Academy of Sports has this mandate. So it shall implement a quality and enhanced secondary education program integrated with a special curriculum on sports. Okay, so NAS is established to harmonize quality and enhance academic education and sports for its student athlete scholars. So I know most of you are physical education teachers, no, and coaches. So later on, I will also discuss a little bit more in detail how special, no, the curriculum of NAS is and how it supports our student athletes. No? Because as we know, right now, no, in most schools, there are varsity teams and there are student athletes, but then they are treated almost just the same, no, like the other regular students. Okay, but our student athletes, of course, no, perform really well, no, and also devote a lot of time, not just in studying, but also in training. So here in NAS, we're doing our best to support them, no, in any means possible. Okay, so the NAS vision is to be at the forefront of global sports development and education, producing well-rounded student athletes equipped with the ability and passion to become a source of national pride. So just like what Coach JR has mentioned, no, and congratulations as well to Coach JR and to Philippine Floorball, no, for reaching the championship. Hopefully we can win the championship. No? And as Coach JR has mentioned, we actually just recently won a lot of medals in the recently concluded Southeast Asian Games or SEA Games. And just for the information of everyone, if you visit the the official Facebook page of NAS, you will see that most of our employees, our coaches, some of our officials are actually also part of the delegates in the SEA Games. So they're really experienced, and they're really talaga invested in Philippine sports. So some of them are coaches, national athletes, national coaches, and then even officials helping our athletes abroad. So with the goal to produce more sports leaders for the country, NAS envisions to set up and advance on the global ladder by being at the forefront in guiding and ensuring the holistic development of its students. So most of the time, ang student athletes, there's a common misconception that they're good in athletics or in their sports, but they're not so good in other aspects of their lives like academics. But we all know that that is not true, and that has been proven already by a lot of our athletes and student athletes. And that's what we are also trying to do in NAS. So in NAS, we're supporting them to become really good athletes, then at the same time to become well-rounded and holistic students as well, that can perform well and even keep up with our international standards, even all over the world. Okay, so our point A to point B should take us from home to podium, from national pride to global achievement. Okay, and here we want to build champions, not just on the playing field or on the playing court, but also in life as well. Okay, so the NAS mission is to provide a platform for academically competent and athletically talented Filipino youth to become responsible world-class student athletes, playing in a vital role in nation building. Okay, so we all know the values that we can get from playing sports. So we can get discipline, determination, nationalism, excellence, friendship, respect with others, and all of these other core values. And that's what we try to instill with our student athletes in NAS. So NAS always believes in the values we derive from sports as the very same values we can latch onto in nation building. So we can apply the student athletes, when they graduate from NAS, they can apply the values in their own lives as athletes, as future national athletes, professionals, and even as leaders, helping in building our nation. Another mission of NAS is to endeavor to provide a holistic approach towards the development of physical, moral, social, intellectual, and spiritual well-being of the student athletes. So even for our student athletes, who really need to perform well physically, they have to become really healthy, physically fit, in order to perform well in their respective sports, and hopefully to bring pride, and also to win medals and accomplish achievements for the country. But at the same time, for them to do that, and for them to improve as overall individuals, we also take care of the other aspects of their life, such as their moral, social, intellectual, and spiritual health and well-being. So ultimately, we at NAS want to create a well-balanced program for student athletes to both enjoy and benefit from in terms of wellness of body, mind, and spirit. And how do we do that? Later, we'll talk about that a little bit more. Okay, so another mission of NAS is to provide world-class facilities at par with international standards and opportunities to compete internationally to enhance the athletic skills and abilities of student athletes. So we all know that Filipinos are very talented, and we're very good in anything that we do, even singing, dancing, the arts, academics, and then of course sports, different kinds of sports. But then we all know as well, that in order for us to keep par, to stay at par with other countries, especially in terms of international performance, we have to be exposed, especially our kids, our student athletes, even at their very young age. It will be very beneficial for them if they can go out, and see and explore, how the sports setting is in other countries, and then hopefully, they will learn a lot as well from this opportunities and experiences, and that will help them become better, not just as student athletes but overall as individuals. Okay, and then we are also, in order to do that, aside from international exposure, we're providing them international facilities, or facilities that are at par with international standards. Just like what you've seen, no, from our recent hosting of the SEA Games last 2019. Okay. So and then last but not least, okay, it's also NAS's mission is also to institutionalize an educational system in implementing quality and enhanced secondary education program integrated with a special curriculum on sports. Okay, so we at NAS are all about quality education and quality sports training in order to produce top caliber athletes performing at the elite level. Okay, so I know a lot of you are really interested know how we implement the special curriculum on sports, and hopefully in the future, we also want to share this with others, and also to our future satellite campuses. Okay, so I hope we are still all good, and now we know a little bit more about NAS. So now, why does NAS exist? Or why is there NAS in the first place? Or bakit ba mayroong NAS? Or bakit nagkaroon ng NAS? Okay, so on June 9, 2020, okay, His Excellency President Rodrigo Roa Duterte signed Republic Act 11470, or the National Academy of Sports Law. So just to give everyone an idea, there have been a lot of bills passed already in the past years, trying to establish a national high school for sports. And there have been a lot of different names, like Philippine High School for Sports, and this is similar to the Philippine Science High School, okay, for students who excel well in terms of science. And then we also have the Philippine High School for the Arts, for those who are gifted and talented in the arts. Okay, but fortunately and luckily enough, we now have the NAS law. Okay, so the RA 11470 creates the National Academy of Sports, which is mandated to implement a quality and enhanced secondary education program integrated with a special curriculum on sports, which will raise the student athletes' competitiveness in the field of sports and produce world-class athletes in the years to come. Okay. So the National Academy of Sports system is created to develop the athletic skills and talents of students in world-class sports facilities, which are at par with international standards. So you have seen great sports potentials through the excellence and performance of our Tokyo 2020 Olympic medalists, and also of our recent 2022 Vietnam SEA Games medalists. Inspired by their success, National Academy of Sports, or NAS, envisions to produce future elite athletes who will pour their burning passion for sports to bring home more Olympic medals for our country. Okay, so now you might be wondering where the campus or where NAS is located, or saan ba matatagpuan ang NAS. Okay, so for those who were able to watch the SEA Games, last 2019, live in person, that was held in New Clark City. Okay, but that's not in Pampanga. Just to clarify, it's New Clark City, and that's located in Capas, Tarlac. So the NAS campus is going to be located there as well, very near our aquatic center where the swimming or the aquatic events were held, and also the track and field, stadium where the track and field events were held. And just to give you an idea, I'm showing you here some of the architectural renders of the NAS campus. Okay, so we cannot wait to move into the future home of world-class athletes, and we are happy to share with you these photos of how our NAS main campus, located in New Clark City, Capas, Tarlac, is slowly but surely taking shape. So as you can see, there are sports facilities, indoor and outdoor, and also, of course, the academic building, okay, for our classrooms and for our facilities for their studies. Okay, so it's also very environmentally friendly, okay, in order for our students as well to feel safe and to enjoy the scenery as well. Okay, so here we have our multi-purpose building basketball court, wherein we can also conduct a lot of different events. And just in case, as Coach JR has mentioned, I'm a table tennis coach and athlete, and Coach JR himself is also a table tennis coach. And maybe some of our participants here are table tennis coaches and players. So we actually have our own multi-purpose building table tennis room, no? So which will cater to our table tennis student athletes. Okay, and then we have also already had the unveiling, no, of the NAS marker in New Clark City, Capas, Tarlac. So if you're curious enough, no, you may actually search the National Academy of Sports on Waze and Google Maps, and you can already find it there. And it will already give you the directions how to go to our NAS campus. Okay, and this is also in the Aquatic Center showing the architectural renders, okay, of NAS. And then showing you the ongoing construction, and we're nearing already the completion of our NAS campus for our phase 1. And hopefully, you can also visit and check it out as well. Okay, so now, okay, who can enroll in NAS? No, I'm sure a lot of you are interested, no, and maybe you know someone who's interested, no, because as I know, no, sino ba ditong gusto maging national athlete, no, or SEA Games or Olympic medalist? Okay, mag-raise ng hand nga. Ako gusto ko pa rin even at my age. But if it's already a little bit difficult, no, because we're not getting any younger. Maybe, no, for our children, okay, or maybe for our students as well, no, we can share this opportunity given by NAS. Okay, so as Coach Jer has mentioned, no, we want you to share this talk today with others, no, so that hopefully we can reach more student athletes, no, prospective future national athletes and Olympics and SEA Games and Asian Games medalists. Okay, so sino-sino ang maaaring makapasok sa NAS? So we are looking at potential student athlete scholars, no? So we are not recruiting directly, no, sa NAS. What we are doing is we are accepting applications. We are extending opportunities, no, scholarships to student athletes. And of course, no, they have to apply, okay, and then qualify through our qualification system. We will evaluate them, and of course, we'll try to get, no, the student athletes with the most potential. Okay, and for this incoming school year 2022 to 2023, we are going to accept, no, incoming grade 7 and grade 8 students or student athletes, okay, who have evidence of potential in the NAS focus sports, which I'll talk about in a while, and those who also have good health and physical fitness for training. Of course, no, the student athletes should also be ready, no, and prepared to go into NAS, and then we will hone them, no, mold them to become even better, well-rounded student athletes. Okay, so now, no, as I've said, no, there are focus sports. So which sports are included in the NAS program, or ano-anong mga sports ang kabilang sa programa ng NAS? Okay, so right now in our phase 1, okay, we have identified and launched 8 focus sports, and you might be wondering, no, why these sports were chosen. Of course, it's quite obvious, no. These are the sports that we always really excel in the international arena, no, especially in the Olympics, as these 8 sports are all Olympic sports. Okay, so for those who know, no, some student athletes who are into athletics, okay, track and field events, no, whether that's running events, throwing, okay, or other track and field events, and then those who are also into aquatics, okay, like swimming, no, and other aquatic events, and of course Olympic weightlifting, no, where we really excel, no, with our Olympic gold medalist Heidelin Diaz, and then we also have judo, gymnastics, taekwondo, table tennis, and badminton. Okay, and we always really win, no, medals in these sports, just like how we won, no, in the last SEA Games just a few weeks ago. Okay, so now that you know, that we are producing, no, top of the line, or sorry, we're producing well-rounded, no, world-class student athletes. Okay, so we of course, no, have to have really good coaches, no, or also of international caliber and world-class level. So who are the coaches and mentors in the NAS program, or sino-sino ang mga coach na gumagabay sa mga mag-aaral atleta ng NAS? Okay, so I'll show them to you one by one, no, and you can check their credentials. But I'm sure, no, most of you know them already because they were also, most of them, no, were also national athletes, no, and Olympic, SEA Games, Asian Games medalists during their time, no, and some, no, are still also currently coaching right now. So we have Coach Jasmine Valenton Ortega for gymnastics. Okay, and then we also have Coach Alan Jovero, our performance specialist. You may check them out as well in our NAS official Facebook page. Okay, so later I'll give you the link for that, or you may also just search National Academy of Sports on Facebook. For judo, we also have Coach Edgar Ordillas. And then for taekwondo, we have Coach Jean-Pierre Sabido or JP Sabido. And then we have our performance specialist as well, Coach Mark Vincent Tubuze, who also won a silver medal in handball in the recently concluded SEA Games. Then, of course, the very well-known taekwondo coach, Coach Dean Dosimpao, who also won medals in the recently concluded SEA Games. And then we have our badminton coach, our badminton legend, Coach Kenny Asuncion Robles. So just right here, with our coaches, you can really see how serious we are, in our mission and vision of producing world-class student athletes. And I hope, you can all support us as well. Okay, so for those, if there are some coaches who are also interested in joining NAS, you may also contact us through our Facebook page. Okay, so now, what makes the NAS system and programs unique, or what makes it different from other programs, and what makes it special? Okay, or ano ang natatangi o ang kakaiba sa mga programa namin sa ilalim ng NAS? Okay, so I'll share with you the strategic framework of the National Academy of Sports when it comes to holistic formation. Because again, we want to improve our student athletes, not just in their sports, nor in their performance in their sports, not just as well in their performance in their academics, but in a holistic manner, even in their social, emotional, moral, spiritual health and well-being. Okay, so our strategic framework zeroes in on a truly holistic formation of the student athletes by synergizing sports training, academics, and support services as fulfilled by the core divisions of Sports Science, Training, and Athletic Services Division, or ESTAS, and then the Academic Affairs, Curriculum, and Instruction Services Division, or the AAC-ISD, which I am a part of. And then last but not least, the Student Athlete Support Services Division, or the SAS, respectively. Supported by the other divisions of NAS as well, these three core divisions operate in a cyclical relationship where the output of one division can serve as a vital input in the operations of the other divisions. Okay, so there are a lot of other divisions in NAS, but these are the three core divisions. Okay, and I will talk about them one by one. So right now, I'll show you as well our values campaign framework. Okay, so again, we're not just talking about the curriculum, okay, or the academic program here, or the sports science program, but we also are trying to improve their values as well and instill a lot of Olympic core values and NAS core values in them. Okay, so with our core divisions at work, we have launched our values campaigns through a partnership between the home and the school to instill Olympic values and NAS values to our student athletes. Of course, here, in instilling values in our student athletes, it's not just the role of NAS, or it's not just the role of the teacher, okay, or of the coach. Okay, they have to work hand in hand, but at the same time, it's also the role of the student athletes themselves, and of course, the parents play a very big role. Okay, and of course, the other leaders and officials in NAS will help here as well. Okay, so just to show you, these are the Olympic core values and that we want to instill in our athletes. We have respect, friendship, and excellence. Okay, so through this campaign, we are highlighting the Olympic core values of respect, friendship, and excellence as students engage in various activities, discussions, and reporting. Okay, but aside from this, there are still other values that we want to instill in them, and we do this progressively, as they go along in the next years of their study in NAS. Okay, so we also have the NAS core values, and as you can see, NAS, or NAS, not just stands for the National Academy of Sports, but it also stands for our NAS core values of nationalism, achievement, and solidarity. So you can see that it's deeply embedded, in our system, or in each of the NAS's personnel and student athletes lives. So our campaign shall likewise focus on the NAS core values: nationalism, achievement, and solidarity. This define our very DNA as one strong NAS. Okay, hashtag one NAS. Okay, so with this, our student athletes shall be given the opportunity to reflect on these values and to share their experiences to their classmates and teammates. Okay, so just to show you the values campaign schedule that we currently have for our student athletes. So aside from their classes and their trainings, okay, we also have values campaign schedules for them as well. And for the academics division, it's done every Monday, 7 to 8 a.m. during our flag ceremony. And just to share with you, in NAS, we are honing and molding our student athletes to become leaders as well. And they even lead our very own flag ceremony. Okay, so that they're immersed and they get a lot of experience early on. And then every Thursday at 4 to 5 p.m., we also have what we call the NAS huddle. Okay, we know in sports settings, huddle is when the coach calls the players so that they can talk about their plans, their strategies, or maybe to give a motivational talk to the team, especially in order for them to perform better. So we also have that regularly or weekly at NAS through our STAS division, or our Sports Science Training and Athlete Services division. And then last but not least, okay, we also have every Friday to conclude the week, of course, to end the week on a good note, we have what we call our sasmahan. So you see the value of friendship here, yung samahan ng ating mga student athlete and also ng mga teachers and coaches and everyone else in NAS. And this is conducted by our Student Athlete Support Services Division, or our SAS division. Okay, so NAS is very intentional with its drive to develop or nurture these values in our student athletes, which is why we have established our core divisions to implement a truly holistic and yet approach on conducting this values campaign. Okay, so the NAS core divisions conduct separate sessions every week to deepen the understanding of the student athletes and their appreciation of each value. So you can see, merong follow-up, okay, or application of the things that the student athletes learn in class and also in training. So it doesn't end in the four corners of the classroom or in the four corners of the basketball court or of the any court or any playing field. So we extend it, okay, even in their own homes, okay, and wherever they go, even if when they compete abroad or compete internationally. Okay, so now let's talk about some of the programs of each of the three core divisions. Now let's start with my division, the Academic Affairs, Curriculum and Instruction Services Division. So now that we've mentioned about the NAS Systems Total Framework, including the values campaign for a holistic formation, I'd like to share briefly some of the specific services each of our division has. Now, let's start with the academics. Okay, so here are some of our programs. Okay, we have designed for both student athletes and teachers these programs to encompass a truly holistic approach to education. First, we have our curricular program, and this is where our learning outcomes are found, and these are focused on the development of 21st century skills, okay, and applied in different sports-related settings such as training and competition. Of course, in line with the mandate and the mission of DepEd as well, we also want to develop holistic student athletes with 21st century skills. Okay, and then within the curriculum, okay, integrative tasks are designed by the students as part of their summative assessments to emphasize the interdisciplinary approach in meeting the learning outcomes per grade level. So this is where the academic integration comes in. So for the student athletes to appreciate better each subject and learning area, we integrate some of the topics and some of the assessments or the activities that the students perform. Okay, so that way they see the importance of each subject or learning area and how we can use them not just in school but also in their trainings, in their competitions, in their athletic performances, and then even in their homes and in their daily lives and daily activities. Okay, and in line with that as well, okay, we have the homeroom program, okay, which promotes values formation in all student athletes, which, as I mentioned, forms part of the NAS Values campaign. Okay, so this is also very important. No? And the homeroom program is conducted by both the academics division and also by the student athlete and support services division. So student athletes formation program reinforces a code of conduct aligned with formative discipline. Of course, as we've mentioned, we want holistic student athletes. So we're not just after their academic and athletic performance, but also how they behave. No? So we also take care of their discipline to make sure that they become world-class student athletes so that we can be proud of. Okay, and then last but not least, and these are not all, no, we also have other programs, but these are just some that I wanted to share with you. We also conduct mentoring programs which provide a formal and goal-directed platform for our teachers' development. Now, so this is also part of their professional development, just like what we are trying to do here in 1PhysEd.Ph, especially with the efforts of Coach JR and the rest of his team. So we want to continue learning always, to always strive to improve, okay, so that we can pass it on to our students or student athletes, and we can help them improve as well. Okay, so this is just a snapshot of one of our professional development programs, and we do this for curriculum development, also again for discipline, for student formation, and a lot of the different aspects of the student athletes. Okay, so next, let's have the STAS or the STAS division and some of their programs. So this is the Sports Science, Training and Athlete Services division. So this is one key difference and uniqueness of the National Academy of Sports. And other schools, okay, there are varsity teams, but then some of them lack programs to support their student athletes. So meron lang varsity team, there's a coach, there are players, and then that's it. Or there's an athletics director as well. But here in NAS, we have devoted one entire division to support them in terms of their training. And of course, to do research as well and to back up their training programs with sports science and scientific evidence. Okay, and then of course we cater to provide services to our student athletes as well. So what are these? Okay, first we have sport-specific training. Of course, that's one of the most important things that will help our student athletes improve or perform better in their chosen sports or in their respective sports. And then we also have movement skills training, and this is another key difference in NAS. In other varsity teams, okay, most of the time they only focus training for their sport, only sport-specific training. But then it's very important for kids, especially for those student athletes of these age groups, okay, from grade 7 to grade 12, okay, to have movement skills training and to have good movement competency, which will help them improve better in their sport-specific performance. Okay, so meron general movement training, okay, and this is done by our movement movement specialists, or performance specialists. And then we also have strength and conditioning, okay, which also supports the sport-specific training. Of course, for them to perform better, their bodies should be in top condition. Okay, so we do that by strengthening them, okay, by improving their endurance, their agility, their speed and power, okay, by implementing strength and conditioning programs by our strength and conditioning coaches. Then lastly, as I have mentioned a while ago, we have the NAS huddle, okay, which instills, makes sure that the values are instilled in our student athletes. Okay, so a periodized program that balances sport-specific training, strength and conditioning, movement skills training, and values formation through the NAS huddle. So the NAS huddle focuses on the core values of NAS and the Olympics, and the NAS training program is anchored on the principles of LTAD or long-term athlete development. So we're not just after for their performance or the results after just 1 year or 2 years or just several years. We want to develop them, okay, long-term, not just for their entire stay in NAS from grade 7 to 12, but even as they graduate, when they go into college or when they choose to go into playing for the national teams or becoming professional athletes. So periodical assessments are also done to monitor progress and to ensure a properly designed program for each student athlete. Okay, so yeah, very exciting talaga itong It's a first in the Philippines, the National Academy of Sports and also the sports science training and athlete services. And hopefully, we can share this with others, and other institutions will be inspired by this as well and will follow suit. No, so this should be the practice in other countries. No, this is what they're doing, and we have benchmarked, no, with a lot of reputable sports academies as well, and schools, no, in other countries. So last but not least, no, we have the Student Athlete Support Services Division, or the SAS division. So aside from the values campaign, our SAS division also offers different support services to our student athletes. They have dedicated units in nutrition, health and medical, campus residences, and guidance counseling and athletic well-being. Okay, so just to show you some of their programs, we have the nutrition services. Of course, we have to take care, no, of our athletes' nutrition, which is very vital in their performance. So it's not just about the training, no, but our athletes should also have a balanced diet, no, and which is sufficient for their needs. Okay, so the SAS Nutrition Unit will assist the healthcare team in the development, design, implementation, evaluation, and monitoring of nutrition-related projects and programs. So we have online nutrition services as well, such as nutrition counseling, nutrition assessment, monitoring, sports nutrition lectures and workshops to ensure the utmost growth, development, and improvement of student athletes in terms of their well-being and in terms of their performance in sports. Okay, and then of course, we also have the health and medical services to ensure the health of our athletes, not just physically, but again, with all of the other aspects of their health. Okay, so this division provides essential comprehensive services rendered to pupils, teachers, and other personnel in the school to promote and protect their health, prevent and control diseases, especially now that we're in the middle of a pandemic, and then maintain their health. So here are some of the focus of the foci of the health and medical services. So health appraisal, remedial and follow-up, prevention of infectious diseases, first aid and emergency care, especially in case there are some minor accidents in training, and then dental health, okay, health education, and school health record. Okay, and then we have the campus residences as well. Okay, so as I've mentioned, the NAS is a boarding school, no? And it's going to have on-campus residence for scholar student athletes. Okay, and the residence service of the school provides smooth and effective quality services, which will assist its residents in developing the skills necessary for personal enrichment and growth. So of course, we want to support our student athletes. We want to make them feel at home, while at the same time, teaching them as well how to live independently, no, and how to become independent individuals, no, and responsible individuals. So the residential community is beneficial for students to become more productive in academics and sports. Our dedicated dormitory managers play a vital role in providing a safe and inclusive environment for our NAS scholars. Okay. Okay, so you may read this later on and may check this out as well, no, in our programs or also through our social media sites. And then we also have guidance counseling and athletic well-being services. No, so this is similar, no, to some other schools, but here we specialize, no, in guidance and counseling of student athletes. No, because of course, as we know, our student athletes have different, no, or maybe even more needs, no, and demands, especially in terms of their athletic well-being. Okay, so we have this services here as well. But as you saw a while ago, some of those services are not really present in other schools. No? But here in NAS, we prioritize our student athletes, so we're providing all of these to them. Okay, so just snapshots of some of the programs of SAS, no, like the anthropometric assessment form. We have food journals as well, so that we can monitor the nutrition and the food that they're taking in to make sure that it's sufficient for their training and competition as well. And then we have also provided them toolkits. No? So this is the SAS Home to NAS Transition Toolkit, okay? So which was prepared to help students transition from their home, no? Especially they've started with online classes due to the pandemic. And then of course, no, when they already transition and transfer to the NAS campus, no, and when we have face-to-face classes and training. So it aims to equip the students with relevant life skills and knowledge that will help them succeed in their academic and sporting career and beyond. No? So again, it doesn't stop with NAS, but it also extends to their life after NAS. Okay, so here are also some other SaaS online services, okay, which are done through teleconsult, video sessions or video conference, monitoring, and bi-monthly health and well-being surveys that cover guidance, counseling, health consultations, nutrition assessments, and monitoring. And then SAS, just like our other divisions like academics and sports science and training as well, also do email blasts. So this provide support services and information dissemination through infographics on mental health, well-being, nutrition, sports, training, academics, study habits, and anything under the sun that can help our student athletes. Okay, and then we also have SAS on social media. Okay, so NAS is likewise introducing SAS through information pieces on social media. In essence, the National Academy of Sports, through SAS, is keen on ensuring that our student athlete scholars are well taken care of as they navigate along the methods of instruction wherever they may be or at whichever time of the school year. Okay, so ngayon, sa tingin ko marami na tayong alam tungkol sa NAS. And I know that you are all very excited as well for this opportunity, especially if you know someone who might be interested to join. Okay, and even for our coaches or PE teachers or MAPE teachers, you might be interested to join as well. Of course, we'll be needing more teachers and coaches as we grow in number. You may also apply and check out the information and communicate through our social media sites. But now, with all of that being said, let's go into the main topic for today. So yung kanina introduction pa lang yon, ano pa lang yon, ito pa lang exciting part. Paparating tayo sa exciting part. So this is the nascent SAS for school year 2022 to 2023, or the nascent SAS stands for the National Academy of Sports Annual Search for Competent, Exceptional, Notable, and Talented Student Athlete Scholars. Okay, so first, what is nascent SAS? Okay, so the NAS Annual Search for Competent, Exceptional, and Notable and Talented Student Athlete Scholars, or the nascent SAS, aims to identify and offer scholarships to academically competent and athletically talented natural-born Filipino youth from all sectors of society. So now, who can apply for the nascent SAS program? Okay, I've mentioned some of this a while ago, but here we have the complete eligibility requirements for application. So each applicant must be a natural-born Filipino citizen and must also be currently enrolled as a grade 6 student or pupil for those who are incoming grade 7, or for those who are incoming grade 8, of course, they have to be currently in grade 7. But we also have an exception for those who are not currently enrolled. Okay, evidence of equivalency is also required. So it's still possible for them to apply, but they just have to provide evidence of equivalency. And then these students, student applicants or student athlete applicants must also have a general weighted average of at least 80%. Okay, so you see here our commitment to make sure that the NAS student athletes are holistically developed and well-rounded, okay, even in their academics. And then it doesn't stop here. When they get into NAS, we'll do our best to try to help them improve even more so that they can balance their athletic life and student life. And this will help them later on in their own lives. Okay, and the applicants must also show evidence of potential in their particular sport. Okay, and then in terms of age requirements, for incoming grade 7 applicants, they should not be older than 14 years old, okay, and not be older than 15 years old for incoming grade 8 students. So that's the age cap or age limit. So this age should be their current age at the start of the school year. And for 2022, we'll be starting our school year in August. So this year in August. Okay, so the applicants must also show evidence of being in good health and physical fitness to undergo a rigorous athletic program. Of course, if you want to build and hone and mold the best of the best student athletes in the country, they also have to be physically fit, no, so that they can be able to sustain it long term. Okay, so and then last but not least, it also must be under the specified. Sorry, they must also be under the specified NAS focus sports. Again, there are 8 NAS focus sports, which are aquatics, athletics, badminton, gymnastics, judo, table tennis, taekwondo, and weightlifting or Olympic weightlifting. Okay. However, no other sports are also welcome to apply. Okay, but they will be evaluated against the NAS focus sports. Okay, so those are the eligibility requirements. But here we will see next in the next slide what we really need to submit, or the documentary requirements which must be submitted and received by the Admission Services Unit, okay, for the pre-screening of scholarship applications. Okay, so first is a fully accomplished NAS scholarship application form, and this can be downloaded through a link, also in our Facebook page. Later, I'll send it on our Zoom chat, okay, and I'll also show it in one of my slides. And then next, for the age requirement, we need a copy of the birth certificate issued by the PSA or the Philippine Statistics Authority. Okay, for those who are not yet aware po, yung NSO po, yung dati, the National Statistics Office, ngayon po PSA na po siya, So you can request that, go to the PSA office, or I think it's also possible to request it online, and have it delivered. Okay, and then we also have another requirement, of course, very important, is their academic records, or their, for incoming grade 7 students, we need their grade 5 and grade 6 report cards. Okay, or for grade 6, and then for the incoming grade 8 students, we need the grade 6 and grade 7 report cards, or the report cards from their last 2 school years, or the current and the last school year. Okay, so whenever you apply po, or if ever you're going to apply, if you know someone is going to apply, I just ask them to submit the latest report cards they have from the last 2 years. Okay, and then we also have a requirement of certificate of good moral character to ensure that the student athletes also have good discipline and are also holistically developed. Okay, and then we'll improve that even more and enhance them further when they go into NAS, when they qualify and they get accepted. Okay, and then another requirement is the filled out student athletes profile with evidence of participation and or achievements in any sanctioned national sports competitions of the DepEd School Sports Division or SSD, of the Philippine Sports Commission or the PSC, of the Philippine Olympic Committee or POC, or National Sports Associations or the NSA. Okay, here are some other requirements or documents that are required. Okay, at least 2 submitted coaches' recommendation forms together with copies or of the coaches' IDs. Okay, and then another important requirement will be the videos of the student athletes showing their latest competition recorded and or demonstration of skills required for a particular focus sport. Or kung hindi po nakapag-compete, if they weren't able to compete recently, if they have maybe match plays or game simulations, simulation of real games, that may also do, or you may also add skill demonstration videos for that sport. Okay, and then for their health, we need medical certificate and dental certificate as well. And then a duly accomplished PARQ or physical activity readiness questionnaire signed by the parents or guardians to ensure that they're ready to perform physical activity. And then last but not least, a copy of at least 1 valid ID with signature of the parent or the designated guardians. Okay, so those are the documentary requirements. Now, here we have some information about scholarships. Okay, so the following scholarship privileges will be granted to the shortlisted applicants. Okay, first, free tuition. Okay, and then next, free board and lodging at the NAS dormitory in NAS campus, New Clark City, Capas, Tarlac. And then, of course, provision of quality secondary education. And that's very important because this quality secondary education and the special curriculum in sports will help them perform better, both in their sport and also in their academics. Okay, so next, we also have access to the student athletes, who will get in, will also have access to specialized sports training in world-class facilities in the NAS campus. And then, very importantly, they will have a chance to represent the country, even at an early age, in NAS international competitions and exchange programs, or even international training. So this is very important for them, to become exposed and to gain experiences even at an early age, because this will help them perform better later on. And then there's also monthly stipend. And then last but not least, we have to take note that the scholarship grant is for 6 years, from grade 7 to 12, but it is subject to the student athlete sports and academic performance. Of course, just like everywhere else, for scholarships, the scholars should maintain their good performance, not just in their sports, but also in their academics. Okay, so there we end the nascent SAS there, but here I'll provide you with some contact details. Feel free to take note or take a picture of it. I'll send it in the Zoom chat later as well after my talk. So you can click on the links, okay, for the above mentioned forms and requirements, or you may also send an email to nacentsas@deped.gov.ph with the subject Nascent SAS 2022 application of, okay, the surname, first name, and middle initial of the student athlete. Okay, for example, Nascent SAS 2022 application of De La Cruz 1S. Okay, and then here are the links as well of our social media platform, our Facebook page, Instagram page, and the Twitter page. So you can search it using the name or the what do you call this again? Kalimutan ko, the username, and then also the links, okay, which I'll send in the Zoom chat in a while. Okay, and then we also have our Nascent SAS virtual office. If you wish to talk to our admissions team, and this is open from Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And you can click on this any of these two links, Virtual Office 1 and Virtual Office 2. And again, this is the official email address of the Admission Services Unit of the NAS, and Nascent SAS. And here, we also have mobile numbers, Viber and WhatsApp numbers as well, which you can contact in case you have any inquiries or clarifications. Okay, some other key information. I'll provide you this link as well, for Nascent SAS 2022-2023 information, the ones that we discussed here in today's presentation, and then a link as well where you can download the forms. This can also be seen on our social media platforms. Okay, and then the official address of Nascent SAS and the contact information, which I also provided already. Now, some important key dates. Actually, this webinar is very timely. Okay, because as you could see, the Nascent SAS program started last January 12, 2022. We have already received applications. Okay, but we're still extending the opportunity for student athletes to apply even up until June 30, 2022. Okay, so if you know some student athletes who might be interested, they still have enough time. They still have a month, but please tell them to apply as soon as possible, okay, so that they can still grab the chance of joining NAS and enjoying all of these opportunities. Okay, and then after the June 30 deadline, the shortlisted applicants will be announced in July of 2022. And then in August 22, we'll already be having the start of our classes or the start of our school year. Okay, so here is a PubMat for our Nascent SAS. Okay, I've provided this information a while ago already as well. To take pictures or I can also send this to the Zoom chat in a while. Okay, so thank you so much for listening. So with these programs and activities, along with the others we have in NAS, it motivates us as sports leaders to continue to serve the sports industry in our country, to contribute to its development, and to have a daily impact to our young generation of student athletes. As we always say, as one NAS, we shall march on with our journey toward developing world-class Filipino student athletes simply by staying true to our core values of nationalism, achievement, and solidarity. So once again, thank you so much to everyone, and hashtag #OneNAS. Okay, I'll end this with a short video. Oh wait, sorry, let me share again. But the sound might not be heard.
Yes, Coach Neil, you can reshare again.
Okay, thank you so much again, everyone. Maraming salamat, and I hope you learned a lot and that you'll be able to share this information about NAS and the Nascent SAS campaign to interested prospective student athlete applicants and scholars. Thank you so much again to everyone for listening, and also Coach JR and to the rest of the 1PhysEd.Ph team.
Okay, of course, congratulations, Coach Neil, for providing us a very comprehensive details about NAS, and of course, on how to be part as a student athlete, or even if you would like, for us PE teachers, if you would like to be part of the academy. I know that many of our participants right now, they have questions in their mind. Therefore, I open the floor if you have any questions. But allow me to, of course, to recognize, of course, the NAS Deputy Executive Director, Mr. Emil Bong Arroyo, who's with us here via Zoom. Of course, he will be helping Coach Neil for some questions if there's a need. Okay. Therefore, for all our friends via YouTube, you may type via chat box any question. I know even here in Zoom, if you have a question, kindly type it there in the chat box, and we are very much willing to accommodate those questions. I think most of us, we have relatives, student, meron tayong kapatid, even a family member nga, who can be part of NAS. Therefore, this is a very perfect timing for you, They may not be here with us in this session, but if you are here and you know that student athlete whom you think can be the next Olympian, who can get medals and bring medals for our country, this is an opportunity that you can also give to them. We can connect, you as a listener, as the one watching right now, can connect, that student athlete in the program of NAS. I'm trying to check the YouTube chat box if there are any questions. The same thing, I just want to check our chat box here because I have some questions, Coach Neil, that I would like to ask to you, of course. Most of this ay mga pasasalamat, Coach Neil, kasi nakaka-enlighten talaga yung topic mo. Because yes, most of us know that there's a National Academy of Sports, but going into details, you were made to provide a comprehensive details. Isa rin sa mga yan, medyo kumukulog na dito. Yan, isa rin sa aking mga na-appreciate dito is, of course, yung ano ba yung meron sa loob ng NAS when you provided that different divisions that serves the student athlete. Syempre, holistic nga. It cannot be only done by a coach, the director itself, and of course, itong mga student athletes to produce world-class athletes, of course. So my question is that you made to discuss those support services for the students. I just want to have a little idea. What's the usual, daily routine on the academic aspect of the students, or the first batch, the pioneering batch of students who went to NAS for academic year 2021-2022? Because we witnessed already how they're supported, but ano bang nangyayari sa NAS for academic aspect?
Okay, thank you for that question, Coach JR. DED Bong is here, our Deputy Executive Director. Please feel free, DED, to interject, or to answer some of the questions. Okay, DED, are you still here? Let me just check.
I think, yeah, he's here, Sir Emil Arroyo.
Let me know, DED. Let us know, if you wish to answer some of the questions. But yeah, that's a really good question. As I've shown a while ago, I didn't show the entire program, but then how it looks like is they start every week with a flag ceremony. That's together with all of the the NAS employees. And again, that's one way for us to instill values in them as well. No? We also perform our values formation campaign there. So there are some activities there or some highlights, no, and some talks. No? So there's an opening or welcome message and closing message as well, where certain values are highlighted. Okay, to instill this in our student athletes. As I mentioned, we also allow them to lead, no, this flag ceremonies, no, so they can also learn by leading, no, by example. Then right after that, they have a homeroom session. No, the homeroom program is a follow up for the values formation campaign of NAS, and this is conducted by the academic affairs, no, our teachers as well, and then even our coaches from the Student Athlete Support Services Division. So dun na yung mga medical services, okay, yung nutrition, health services, residences, campus residence, okay, and other of the other services that we provide. Then after that, before that, I'm very sorry. Before the flag ceremony, we also have the sports training of our student athletes. No, so there are also morning sessions of training. Just like the usual, no, in other sports teams. So after the flag ceremony, they do the after the training, they do the flag ceremony, the homeroom class, and then that's when they have their academic classes, no, for the different learning areas, just like any other student. And then on some days, no, or some sessions, there are also afternoon or evening sessions for their training or their sports trainings. And this will be the same setup, no, or a very similar setup once we completely do face-to-face classes and face-to-face training. Okay, so I hope, and then on the other days, no, so different days there are different training schedules. Okay, in the morning and in the afternoon. Then again, there's also the NAS huddle every Thursday. Okay, for the values formation campaign with the coaches, no, and the sports science training athlete services division. Then on Fridays, they have the SASMAHAN, no, with the student athlete support services division. So they're well immersed, no, in the different divisions, so that we all see the unity as well, no, of all divisions of NAS and of the NAS officials and employees, the coaches and the teachers, and also of course our student athletes. No, so one NAS indeed. No, so I hope I answered your question, but D. Bong, do you wish to follow up?
I already included Sir Emil as a co-host, just in case you would like to add more.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for inviting us over. Right now we're doing all our classes remotely. So the schedule given by Neil is correct. But very soon in the coming school year, we will have our face-to-face classes. And basically, we have training in the morning, and then the synchronous classes face-to-face will begin around 8:30 or 9 a.m. After, of course, they've had a chance to have breakfast and a shower and change to their school uniforms. And from about 9 a.m. till 2 p.m., they have synchronous classes. And then they have 2 p.m. to about 3:30 of asynchronous and performance task time and tutorials if needed. And then 3:30 to 4:30, they have a break, a chance to rest and eat a snack and get ready for their afternoon play, the sport and play. So it's sport and play sometime like 4:30 to 6, if I'm not mistaken. This is our draft schedule for the coming school year, where we'll have face-to-face classes. Right now, everything is remote, so it's as presented by Neil. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Sir Emil. Yeah, I think just to clear, it's not only the sports that being focused here in NAS, but we can also see that some subjects like math, English, I've seen in the presentation of Coach Neil, even TLE, there are subjects rendered for that. Therefore, we can really guarantee that the holistic formation of students will be addressed. Before I ask a question being given here, of course, I would like to, say hi to the one and only Coach Nolly Ayo, who's with us this afternoon. Maraming salamat, Coach Nolly, for being here.
Shout out to Coach Nolly. Thank you for being here.
Yeah. I just want to ask this, Coach Neil and Sir Emil, if you may. Okay. We know that NAS is now currently have this focus sports, right? But how, or do you have any initial plans when it comes to team sports in the coming years, if that's possible? And how can, since this is team sports, I'm not sure if the entire team will be there or you will be composing a team for NAS Academy. So do you have any idea? Because I think some of the coaches attending with us, this is also a question for them, or even parents attending.
Okay. Sige, this is the initial phase 1 pa lang po, no, ng focus sports natin, the 8 focus sports. But we plan, of course, on adding more sports. And maybe Coach Bong, Coach Emil, no, the DED Emil can add to this.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Neil. Of course, the NAS has to start somewhere. It's not a very easy thing to decide on what focus sports we would have. But we're guided by our board members who, of course, are, we have the DepEd secretary as our chairman of the board and the PSC chairman as our assistant chairman of the board. Then we have board members from the chairman of POC and private sector representatives as well as the CHED chairman. So they form our board, and we have been guided along the way in determining, what is best to start with in phase 1. As you notice, they are individual sports, and they are a nice mix of 8 different sports. We have 2 racket sports, 2 martial arts, the 2 high medal sports in the Olympics, gymnastics and weightlifting, and the 2 mandatory events in international competition, track and field and aquatics. So that makes the first 8 sports in our program. Some of them have dual events, doubles and relays. So in that regard, we are starting off with these events to have a semblance of team participation. Doubles in badminton, doubles in table tennis, then relay events in aquatics and in track and field. Including large team sports is rather tricky for now. Budget-wise, it probably will require 5 times the budget. Monitoring the athletes would be also a challenge, a welcome challenge though, because as you mentioned earlier, can you keep the team together? You build chemistry, but
Yes.
in some of the team events, a selection of players coming from different schools is the norm to form a team participating in international competition. So whether we can actually keep them together as an all NAS team is also something to consider. And this will be the basis also of how we're able to track their development in the 6 years they have in NAS. Individually, they're easier to monitor and to create individualized plans for as we look at their development throughout their 6 years in NAS. Being an inclusive organization, of course, we're looking into the likelihood of bringing in team sports in the future. As Neil mentioned, we're in phase 1. So we have to get something off the ground. And there's a lot more of expansion in NAS. He mentioned that the main campus will be in Tarlac. Pero yung regional campuses are further down the road, and they could be in the Visayas, they could be in Mindanao. And if the Visayas is the hotbed of soccer, then most likely, if we take in a team sport like football, it would probably be in a regional campus where you have that as the hotbed for that sport. Something along those lines.
Yeah, it's exciting to know the bigger picture, or the things that may happen in the near future for the NAS Academy. Count 1PhysEd.Ph to always promote also all the programs of NAS Academy. Okay, we have a question here from
Kung pwede po, if I may be allowed.
Go ahead.
Sige, let's take the question.
I think
I would just like to invite everybody, na may mga estudyante kayo. if possible, then we want to invite them to inform their student athletes, grade 7 and grade 8, to give NAS a try, especially if they're notable student athletes. This is a national academy, so it's a school, and it's national in scope. So we have students from the Visayas, from Mindanao, Northern Luzon, Southern Luzon, and NCR. The biggest number of students we have are from Northern Luzon. Siyempre, kasi nasa Tarlac yung campus. So natural lang that we have a lot from Central Luzon, Northern Luzon. But we are inviting people from the Visayas, from Mindanao, all over the Philippines to share the information para maka-qualify at mabigyan ng chance yung mga estudyante. We're open to indigenous people as well. In fact, we have one student already in IT, and we have another applicant now in IT. I saw somebody from Palawan State, I think, in the audience or in attendance. We have a student from Puerto Princesa, Sian Yebes, who's a Taekwondo Jin. And then yung recent Taekwondo Jins natin who won in the World National Twins or Siblings Pumse competition are from Baguio.
Mhm.
So we do get athletes from all over the Philippines.
All right. And yeah, like what
Yun po.
Coach Bong mentioned, again, we PE teachers, we know some prospect student athletes there in our respective organizations, schools. Therefore, why not give a try? Maybe they will be the next scholars of NAS Academy. At this point, we have a question here via chat box. I think most of them already get the great idea about NAS Academy. But yeah, I think I can answer this. For the meantime, NAS Academy offer only for secondary at the moment, I think. Am I right, Coach Neil?
Tama po.
Opo, yeah.
Yes,
But, yeah, of course, we...
Tama po. It's by law. It's by law.
Okay, yeah.
As NAS was created by law, we're created as a secondary school.
Okay.
And then I would just like to add to that, Coach JR, no, because some are getting confused, no. Bakit grade 7 or grade 8 pa lang? We're on our second year, no, next year. So in our first year, grade 7 po muna. Next year po, grade 7 and 8 na po. Ano yung grade 7, magiging grade 8 na sila. The following year after that, we'll add grade 9, 10, 11, and 12 each year. And then from there on, grade 7 to 12 na po ang pwede students po natin. So yeah.
Okay. So it means that even they're already grade 9, soon they can still enter NAS Academy if they are qualified. They don't need to start grade 7 or grade 8.
May I answer that?
Yes, Didi.
Yeah, it's a very good question. No? So ngayon po, the entry point is grade 7 and lateral entry is allowed up to grade 8. This is similar to the other attached agencies that we know of, like Philippine Science and National High School for the Arts. We are benchmarking with these attached agencies at itong NAS. We'll study up to what extent and what level we can have lateral entry. Nabanggit ni Neil kanina na meron kaming aside from the DepEd curriculum, it's enhanced with a special curriculum in sports. So similar to Philippine Science, where they allow lateral entry, I think only up to grade 9. It's really because their curriculum is more advanced in science, technology, engineering, and math, that anybody trying to transfer in beyond grade 9 will have a very hard time in, let's say, Philippine Science. So the same pwedeng mangyari sa NAS as our curriculum now starts to become more specialized, maybe by grade 9, 10, 11, and 12. So pinag-aaralan pa namin. Now, right now, we see that we can allow lateral entry at grade 8. Bago pa lang, kakaumpisa lang namin. So grade 7, grade 8.
All right. I think most of the question, actually ako na lang yung nagtanong kasi na-excite ako upon witnessing the possibility that NAS can offer. Of course, nakitang-kita naman natin it is really aligned to produce world-class athletes. Tayo nga naman mga PE teacher, we really want to see Filipinos competing in international scene, especially in the Olympics, and bringing home glory and of course medals for the country. Therefore, let's say 5 to 10 years from now, I'm sure that there are a lot of progress, and we are really looking forward to those things. Thank you, Coach Bong, and of course at this time, Coach Josh, may I request to present, please, the certificate of appreciation that we're going to be awarding to our speaker for this afternoon. At the same time, our sports science advisor. Okay, allow me to read the certificate. Okay, the certificate of appreciation is hereby awarded to Professor Neil Patrick S. Ferrer for generously sharing his expertise as resource speaker during the sports series with the team Empowering School Sports for a Better Tomorrow in the webinar titled NAS Annual Search for Competent, Exceptional, Notable, and Talented Student Athletes, Scholars, or NAS and SAS 2022 via 1PhysEd YouTube channel and Zoom. Awarded today, this 28th of May 2022, signed yours truly, Coach J.R. Viterbo, Mr. Joshua Villarreal, and Ms. Hazel Eunice Carmen, all from 1PhysEd.Ph. Thank you so much, Coach Neil, for bringing this information to us. And I really pray that those who are witnessing this professional development today will be part of the journey of NAS Academy, not only for the coming academic year, but of course, sa mga darating pa pong mga panahon. Congratulations and thank you once again, Coach Neil, and of course, to our special guest also, the Executive Director, Mr. Emil Bong Arroyo. Maraming salamat. Okay, let's give them a round of applause.
Coach JR, and to everyone, and to 1PhysEd.Ph, and of course to the Emil Arroyo.
All right. Okay, we're almost done. We're almost at the end of our program for this afternoon. Coach Josh, do we have something there in our background? And yeah, again, I would like to mention and my apology for all apologize for all those who are registering in the premium membership, because right now we closed this membership because we're working on something to serve you better. But come next week, we're gonna be opening again the membership. So in addition to that, Coach Josh, move forward, Coach Josh. And of course, we're promoting the 1PhysEd.Ph website. This is a professional development portal for all the PE teachers, coaches who would like to, in their own time, learn different topics that we featured here in 1PhysEd.Ph. So once you avail the membership, then you can access this learning portal that we created for you. And lastly, Coach Josh, of course, if you want to make a difference, we're helping our future PE teachers through the shirt I'm wearing right now. I think Coach Neil, you have this one, if I'm not mistaken, right? So we're selling via Shopee this shirt, proceeds of this, yung ating kita po dito. Of course, we want to bring smile to some of our fellow of our BPE students, especially those who are in the provinces, to support a little things that they need in their journey as a students. And yun, wala pa pala. And because of that, wag kang mag-alala, Coach Neil. Beke naman, you're always here to support us. Of course, you will be given. And Coach Josh? Let's move forward, Coach Josh. And of course, we would like to promote our Facebook page. Of course, we give some PE articles, inspirational quotes, community announcements, programs, and activities. Therefore, if hindi ka po naka-like and follow, now is the time for you to subscribe sa ating Facebook page para po maging updated sa ating mga parating na professional development programs at marami pa po dyan na makakatulong sa inyo bilang isang PE teacher. Lastly, of course, ang inaantay ng ating mga, I just want to have this promotion po, 6:30 p.m. mamaya na po. Of course, as the education chair of Philippine Floorball Association, yours truly, I'm inviting you to watch the finals of the Asia Oceania Floorball Cup today. 6:30 p.m. via YouTube po. Hanapin lang po natin AOFC 2022 and let's cheer and support our women's national team. For the first time ever po, tayo ay maglalaro para dito sa torneyong ito na pinakamalaki sa Asia Oceania. Kaya po kita-kita po tayo sa YouTube mamaya. And last, Coach Josh, there, of course, hindi pa po tapos. Nakita nyo dito May 28, but June 11, we're gonna have the last episode for the sports series ng 1PhysEd.Ph for 2022. Therefore, wag po kayong mawawala. And after ng sports series natin, dance series naman po tayo. Alright, and meron pa po ba? I think now is the time, of course, for all our participants. Again, I'm monitoring the generation of the certificate. Again, one email po, one generate lang po ng certificate. Again, if they're not participant, no, honesty system na lang po tayo. Wag po natin gamitin or wag po natin i-share para po magkaroon ng exclusivity. Kung sino lang po yung umattend, therefore kayo lang po yung magge-generate kasi nag-a-appear po siya sa ating system. Nakikita po yung pag may double, nag-generate ng double. And because of that, okay, tayo po ay magtatapos. I-share ko lamang po ang ating link, no, ng ating certificate via YouTube naman sa ating mga kaibigan dyan. Okay, sandali naman po. Okay, one-man army tayo dito. There you go. Ito na po, i-share na po natin. May I request po lahat ng ating friends via Zoom to turn on your camera para naman po tayo makapag-thank you post sa ating page, sa ating the one and only Coach Neil for having his time, no, for this afternoon. Salamat. Yan, si Sir Aaron nag-turn on na. Okay, ang ating pong mga link for the certificate available na via Zoom, via YouTube Live. So, dito naman po, bago tayo magtapos, pa-turn on po ng ating mga cameras that we can take, souvenir photo for this episode. Yan. Thank you so much po. Again, remaining 5 seconds para sa mga pwede pa pong mag-on ng camera. Okay, help me Coach Josh and Sir John, no, to have a screenshot. Okay, magandang hapon po sa lahat. Nice to see ang ating mga kaibigan. Okay, ready? Give your best shot. Best smile po tayo. Ready? Smile. 1, 2, and 3. Coach Josh, ikaw ulit. Ready? Isa pa. 1, 2, and 3. Alright. Again, this is another successful Saturday for the Philippine physical education community. Success because we made to host another or to feature another topic here in 1PhysEd.Ph. And again, like what I always mention, let's not settle for what we know today because ang proseso po ng pagkatuto ay tuloy-tuloy lamang po. Therefore, do not be absent. By June 11, we want to see you there in our last episode para sa sports series natin together with Attorney Alberto Agra. And once again, happy Saturday. Mag-ingat po kayo. See you sa game ng ating Philippine Women's Floorball Team mamayang gabi. And this is Coach JR always saying, let's break the limits and go beyond. God bless everyone. Happy Saturday. Bye-bye. I'm gonna end na po the Zoom hoping you made to... I'm gonna give 1 minute para sa mga hindi pa po nakakapag... mag-type lang po kayo kung hindi nyo ma-access ang mga link. Yan. Mukha naman na-access na nila.